sun in. Lift your weary head up to the sky. Open up your window, let the sun in, and sing out with your arms stretched open wide. Hello world!
Hello, world.
world.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Chloe.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you so much for asking. And good morning to all of you out there in the intranets.
Hello, friends.
Yeah, watch in bed. That's great. I love that you can just be like comfy and waking up and hanging out with Chloe and I this morning. This is right. This is a no budget, low cussing good time.
Matt and Chloe, right in your bed.
Yeah, low cussing.
Hello, cousin.
I mean, that's not really anybody's hard and fast rule. I mean, we could really, I guess, cuss as much as we wanted. There are no censors or you know, there's no Department of Standards here on Twitch. Well, I guess there is a little bit.
Hello, world. Low standards.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So, Chloe, how was your weekend? I know you told me yesterday that you had a very kind of an interesting event happen this weekend.
I had a very special afternoon yesterday. I had a virtual high school reunion.
What year was this? 5?
So it's a little different at my school because it's fancy. It was Interlochen Arts Academy, so it's a fine arts.
Oh, you went to Interlochen. That's right.
Yeah. It's a fine arts boarding high school, and so instead of doing 1 year, one class like at a time, they pretty much do reunions almost every year, and they'll do like blocks of classes.
Okay.
So it'll be like our chunk was like 2007 to 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even, because I graduated in 2007. So it's not even really like a 20 years or anything like that. Yes, I did say it was a boarding school in the woods of Michigan. It was a very weird place.
Well, I mean, the woods of Michigan are a little weird anyway.
Well, and it was a fine arts school, so like think of all the weird artsy kids that you went to high school with, and then take all of them and like the band kids and all that, and take all of them and just like put them in the woods together. Just by themselves, no parents.
That sounds like a mistake, but also awesome.
It's a little bit of a mistake, but in the best way possible. I was in the creative writing program, and so I wrote a lot of poetry. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so obviously they're not doing, so the school's still open this year. They're getting COVID tested every other week, and you know, it's a pretty pretty isolated campus. So there's not, people are wearing masks, and they're doing voice lessons, for the voice majors, like, because I don't know if you know this, but singing is a really easy way to spread COVID.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second.
Oh, yeah.
This is what's happening right now next to me.
Show down there.
Yeah, she's very, very into. She really wants to play ball right now.
Yeah,
and the ball looks like it's made of sky.
It's a sun ball. Wow.
Yeah, she's definitely up and she's taking her nap and she wants to play.
She's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a squeaky show.
It's gonna be a squeaky show. Low cussing, no budget, high squeaking.
High squeaking.
So anyway, continue your story.
Anyway, so singing is a really easy way to spread COVID because you're projecting. And so they're doing voice lessons of like the person singing is in one room and the teacher is the next room over and they're watching them through Zoom. So they can't actually hear them live at all, but they're next to each other.
I've been taking voice lessons.
Oh yeah.
Since the pandemic started, I've been taking voice lessons with our very own Gwen Coburn. Yeah, it's been really, really cool. Like you know.
I've done a few lessons with her. She's
an amazing instructor. She's an amazing instructor. Gets me singing, which I love. I don't do enough of that anymore. I used to sing so much when I was in high school. I went to a very small, very rural high school. The town I lived in had 3,100 people in it, and it was the largest county in Illinois with the smallest population because it's all farmland. So we had about 600 kids in our high school, and they were all bussed in from 4 different junior highs that were spread all over the
like 2 hours long.
Yeah, my bus ride started at like 7 in the morning. It was a good hour and a half, and I had to change buses twice.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but choir actually for such a small high school. Choir and band were actually fairly kind of big deals, which was kind of cool.
Classic Midwest.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes.
Great.
Yes. I've always said I've got a face for radio. So I'm very excited. We have a very, very big show today. I'm sorry. Did we even finish your story?
No, I didn't even get to the reunion.
Didn't even get to the reunion part. Let's continue. I'm sorry. I get.
All right. So, I didn't know about this, but my friend Liz was in charge of our class, and I guess it wasn't like I didn't know about this until somebody posted on Facebook like on Saturday and was like, "Hey, who's all coming?" And I was like, "What?"
It's like you don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, right.
We're all quarantined.
Yeah, so I jumped on, and out of like the 700 possible people that could have been there, there were 8 of us.
Nice.
Which honestly, in a lot of ways, was much better. It would have been hard to get to all 700 people.
Honestly, 8 for a Zoom call is almost too many anyway.
Yeah.
Like these big, huge, like 20-person Zoom calls.
It's too many. It's too much. But it was nice because we got to chat a little bit more one-on-one. I was able to tell everyone that I was nominated for an Audioverse award for my performance in True Tales of the Illuminati, which is an audio drama office sitcom about the Illuminati trying to influence history but doing a bad job. Anyway, so there was this really cute boy that I was
there is at all reunions.
As there's at all reunions, that I was like kind of hoping to reconnect with, and he was there and he was great, and we were like, chemistry, right?
Sparks. Zoom sparks are flying.
Just flying. And at one point he was like, y'all should come visit me. Like, they've got plenty of room at my house that I just built.
And you're like, hey.
And I was like, that's for me.
Nobody else. Yeah.
And then like an hour and a half into this, he goes, yeah, I just entered into a relationship about a month ago with my girlfriend is the head epidemiologist for the state of Missouri. And I was like, I can't break this up because she needs her head in the game right now.
Yeah, she needs her head in the game, and she needs to be in a happy relationship so she can get like
she can do what she needs to do because she's already like she's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I can't. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, he does have handsome hair.
But you're like, I can't break up this relationship because this woman could cure COVID.
It's true.
This woman could find the vaccine.
Yeah, this is bigger than me right now.
Well, Chloe, I think I speak for the entirety of humanity when I say thank you for not. I mean, that's the question, right? What's more important, Chloe's love life or COVID?
Yeah, and I'm making a sacrifice here because I care about the world.
And your sacrifice is seen. And we appreciate you for that.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. It eases a little bit of the pain.
Well, that's awesome. So you want to hear a little fact of the day now that we've got
facts. Yeah.
I should say real quick before we do facts, I had a fun week. We did the AIDS walk yesterday. So the 2020 Boston AIDS walk was yesterday, and it was all held virtual. And we did like the virtual pre-show here on 2MB Studios, and it was fantastic. It went off without a hitch. I went and I walked 3 miles with my pup. And and the Breadheads, which was our team. Yeah, Liz hosted it. She did such an amazing job. She was my co-host. Well, actually, I was the co-host. She was the host. I was just kind of I was the Andy Richter, right? I was the Ed to her Johnny.
Yeah.
And I was running all the things. I was basically what Mike does for our show. Only I'm going to say it. I think that I was a little better.
Uh-oh. It's my show now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
You got to be careful what you say to the tech person.
It's true. They could, I mean, not in this situation, but in a live show, they could ruin your lighting in a second.
In a second.
You don't want that.
No. But I could also, bring him onto screen without him. See, I have all the power he has. So it's just randomly bring him on screen. But yeah, no, the Breadheads raised a little over $1,000 for the AIDS walk, which was fantastic. We were very, very happy for that. And I'm looking forward to hear like final numbers from Liz as far as like what they raised. A whole walk raised $240K.
That's
and
incredible.
That's virtual. That's all done virtual. Like they didn't do any live events. It's way under what they would normally raise, but it's also really awesome for
insane.
What we were working with. I mean, that's so good. I'm so proud of everybody over at Fenway Health and AIDS Action. They're just a wonderful group, and I can't wait to do more with them. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Liz.
Oh, wink.
All right. So back to the show. We've got guests that are eagerly awaiting to come on screen. So we need to get through our opening business.
Tell me that fact real quick.
So here's the fact. On this date in 1781, that's right, we're doing a little Revolutionary War history here. British General Cornwallis surrendered to General George Washington in Yorktown.
Look at that.
To the last major battle of the American Revolution and giving way to the best number in Hamilton. I would say that final number of Hamilton where they win the Revolutionary War is that's usually where I stop it, because I want to end on a happy
the final
ending.
Number of the first act.
Yeah. It's usually where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need
end it on a good note.
Yeah.
We're not saying like the second half is also incredible, but
it's amazing.
It'll make you cry more than the first half.
Yeah, and the first half already made me cry.
Yeah.
Like I was crying within the first 2 minutes of it when I watched it. Like I was watching just the opening number and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not seeing this in live theater because I'm crying. It's so beautiful. Live theater.
Musicals.
I love musicals. But here's our, we do have a trivia question today that is Revolutionary War related. So here it is. Christopher Ludwig was given this job title from Congress in 1777 after he used his unique talents to help the colonial army after Valley Forge.
Wow. I'm excited to find out what his unique talents are.
Yes. I will give you a hint. it is sort of challenge related or channel related.
Channel related?
Yeah. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Oh.
We'll talk about it at the end of the show.
I'm going to think about this all morning.
Yeah. It's also National Seafood Bisque Day.
Why?
Yeah. Look at that. Look
Delicious
at that.
bisque.
That looks delicious. I hope you're a fan of bisque because I am.
Yeah.
And today is National Seafood Bisque Day.
Yes. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's also ADHD Awareness Month.
That is more important.
And well, so they made it a whole month because otherwise all of us folks with ADHD would have missed it.
100%.
Famously bad at times.
Yeah. You gotta be like, hey, we'll just give them the whole month. They'll celebrate 1 or 2 days out of that month.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. It'll be great.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about our first guest. We do a thing on our show anyway called "What You Watching," and we usually save it for the end of the show. But we're gonna push it up a little bit and do it now because we have an actual TV critic on our show, which is a first for us. Very excited. She is a TV critic for The Hollywood Reporter. Let's bring out Inkoo Kang. Inkoo, good morning.
Hi, so excited to join you guys on National Seafood Bisque Day with my big, handsome hands.
Inkoo, what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite bisque? Are you a bisque fan?
No, I'm on the West Coast, and you guys showed that picture of the shrimp or lobster and the pink gunky stuff, and I literally vomited in my mouth.
Oh no! Not
Just
a big fan
FYI.
of. It's not a bisque. Isn't a West Coast thing.
I think we just call it soup over here. We're not super fancy.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Chloe a question.
Oh,
all right.
Oh my
Sorry,
goodness!
I'm gonna flip the table on you a little
No,
bit.
do it.
But out of all of the artsy kids who went to Interlaken in the woods, how many of them turned out to be killer clowns? I know the answer is not 0.
Okay. It's so funny. It's so funny that you asked that question because we just recently this memory was brought up that while I was there was someone who was in the jazz band. Is that the right? They were in the jazz band.
That's a thing.
Who put on a clown mask and would creepily stare through the windows of the dorms while I was there. So my answer is probably several of the jazz kids.
It's always the jazz club. Club.
Pure expression of chaos.
Yeah.
Those jazz kids.
I don't know if you knew this, but John Wayne Gacy was a saxophone player.
Oh no!
I was going to say the saxophone seemed like the most killer clown instrument.
Right? That's what they would play creepily as they. Yeah.
That's true, but I'm gonna say the weirdest kids play French horn.
Oh yeah, weirdest.
I would have guessed flute. Every time I hear a flute, I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Did you ever play an instrument, Inkoo?
I took piano lessons for 17 years, and actually, the only thing keeping me remotely sane during quarantine right now is I resumed piano lessons this year. And of course, I've been doing them over Zoom. And at first I was, just like the voice lessons at Interlaken. And I thought they were going to be really janky, but actually it's fine. I need so much fixing that it's all audible through the Zoom. It's great.
Perfect.
That's great. I played trombone when I was in high school, and I tried to do jazz. I was in the jazz band, and we would play the jazz, the sheet music that we would have. But then they would ask, we had a band director that was trying to get us to improvise. which now seems like, hey, very cool. But to a high school Matt, that thought terrified him.
Overwhelming.
And it was like, you mean I can play whatever? Like, I don't get that at all. Like,
No
I don't
structure?
get. There's no. I need a structure. Like, I
Is
don't
that
know.
the origin story of your own killer clown story, and then you grab people by the neck through the trombone, like
Yes.
thing?
Inkoo, I have to ask you a question just right off the top here. Are you okay? Like, do you have clown issues?
I am
Like, do you want to talk
actually
through those today?
okay because I live in a place where there are no woods anywhere around me. I moved out of Boston,
Yeah.
and then I thought, hey, there are no trees where I live. I'm good.
So you used to live in Boston.
I used to live in Brookline, in the worst part of Brookline, with the worst, like, class anxious people. One time I was at my dog park. This guy who was like in his 30s maybe asked me, so what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a writer, I think, because this is like 15 years ago or something. And I was very insecure. And he walked away.
He just walked away?
Yes.
Oh,
He
man.
flipped on his heel and he walked away. It was perfection.
Oh, wait.
Honestly, you didn't want to talk to him anyway. Like, you actually probably won that. Like, that was actually probably better for you.
He was the clown murderer.
Oh, he was a clown murderer, but he only murdered people that worked in, I don't know, finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is don't live in Brookline.
Yeah.
I mean,
So how did you start talking to this? How has the conversation begun with this person?
It was like a dog park where people talk to people.
yeah.
Oh, weird.
If you've been to a dog park, you just have to talk. If you have a dog, you just have to talk to other people. I happen to actually have like the world's most beautiful dog, and therefore people want to talk to me all the time about how beautiful my dog is. It's actually quite a burden.
Point of order. I actually have the most beautiful dog. So
That's a really beautiful delusion, and I love it for you.
Can you be the West Coast most beautiful dog, and I'll be the East
No.
Coast most beautiful? No,
No.
it's not. No, there's no,
No.
there's no. Okay,
Point of order.
Buddy Joe is amazing.
I have the cutest dog, not the most beautiful dog.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I love that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. See, supporting each other. This is what we do. This is beautiful. This is great.
Yeah. I get that. We should do a little. We should do a little 2MB Studios Best in Show, little puppy show.
Oh yeah.
That would get some viewers.
Someone write that down.
Rachel, that is just not true. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Her dog is very adorable. I've only seen Rachel's dog just out of the corner of the Zoom screen, like going around like the corner there. So I've never actually seen Rachel's dog in all its glory.
It's just a really good Instagram filter.
Yeah.
Could be. That's how they
Sorry
get
for
you.
outing you, Rachel.
She doesn't mind. So Inkoo, you work for the Hollywood Reporter. You're a TV critic. What are some of your favorite things right now? Like, what are you into right now?
You could also tell us about something that you really hate.
Oh, that works too. Like, I'd like to get both. I'd like to get what you are like really surprised that you like, and then what's something that you would steer people away from watching.
Okay, so the two things I want to talk about are actually both on HBO. I know not everyone has HBO, but it is a little bit more democratized now. There's a really good show that nobody's talking about. It seems like nobody's watching right now, called We Are Who We Are. It's directed and created by Luca Guadagnino. I'm probably butchering his name. And it's basically about a bunch of Americans. So Luca Guadagnino did Call Me By Your Name. He did the most recent remake of Suspiria. He really loves to have movies, for whatever reason, even though he's Italian, about rich Americans in Italy. And, that's cool. That's like a niche. But the thing I like about this show is that it's just about a bunch of American service members and their families who are in this Italian military base, and sort of how weird their life is over there. And I think I can tell you this now. It turns out that the main character, who, like in the first episode, you think is just an ordinary artsy gay teenage boy with some anger issues, is actually a trans boy who is having trouble adjusting, and he can't, and all of the American kids, because they're in Italy, are constantly throwing their clothes off and like running into the ocean, I guess the sea, and just having like the time of their lives, being 16-year-olds in this like beautiful picturesque country. And he always has his clothes on because he has to protect himself, and he has a drinking problem. But he can only have a drinking problem to a certain extent because he has to keep in control, because he doesn't want people to really see his body. It's really beautiful, and Chloe Sevigny plays his mom. She is in no way remotely believable as a military general. However, the rest of the show is like so good.
Okay, and that's We Are Who We Are. I love that.
That's what I would recommend you watch. Yeah. What I would recommend you do not watch is also on HBO. There's a new show called The Undoing. It stars Nicole Kidman. It's made by the same guy who did Big Little Lies that Nicole Kidman was also on. And it was just, they sent me 5 episodes. There's 6 episodes total. And it's one of those shows that I think is so pervasive with TV right now, where they clearly had enough story for like a 2-hour movie, and they stretched it out to like a 6-hour television show. And you're just like, why am I looking at these like bizarre close-ups of Nicole Kidman's eyeballs? I can trace every single vein on her eyeball because the close-up is so intense. And her eyes are floating around because she's like, oh no, is my husband a murderer? Oh no, did my husband have an affair and kill his mistress? However,
Nicole Kidman's got to get better. She's got to get better taste in her partners. Like in Big Little Lies, she had the same problem. She was like with Eric from True Blood.
Yes, I do not recommend marrying a vampire.
No, that's solid advice, especially this month, in the month of October.
Yeah,
spooky
season, they're everywhere.
So speaking of spooky season, what are some good is there anything good spooky out there? Are you a horror fan? Do you like scary movies or?
I only like Chloe's High School.
The scariest place of all.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say I'm not really into like super horror stuff, but the movie that I'm looking forward to rewatching the most this Halloween is this movie from the 1980s starring Nicolas Cage. Do you know it?
Well, keep going.
He's been in a lot of films.
He's like, keep describing the movie and we'll get it.
We're gonna get it.
Oh, it's called Vampire's Kiss. Oh, and the whole point of the movie is that Nicolas Cage believes he's a vampire. And so he goes around trying to chew up people's necks. But the whole premise of the movie is like, it's never actually clear whether he's a real vampire or not, or if he just like took a really bad drug while he was clubbing and just like lost his mind.
He was just like on bath salts.
Yes, like the 1987 version of bath salts, which is probably just really bad cocaine.
Yeah.
Yes. But also, Nicolas Cage is usually at an 11, but in this movie, throughout like all 90 minutes, he is at a 13.
Yeah. Yeah, no, wow. We just recently did so last week we have a show on the channel called The Boy Detectives, and what they do is they draft fantasy football teams, but with pop culture things. So last week was the Nicolas Cage character draft, where it was all Nicolas Cage characters, and I don't know that Vampire's Kiss came up once, but I used it for the opening because he's doing this. He's 1, 2, or A, B, C, D, E, where he does the alphabet.
No, he is truly insane. You fear for him a little bit because he's so overacting. You feel like his eyeballs are going to pop right out of his head.
Oh, no.
It's a beaut.
That's the movie the meme came from too, right? The meme where it's like him like with his eye do you know what meme I'm talking about?
Yeah. He does the thing, and he's like also emphasizing his teeth, which I don't think you're looking for if you don't know the point of the movie. But after you're like, oh, he's like trying to make his fangs grow out, but they're not coming because he might not be a vampire.
Oh my gosh. This
Oh,
is
Nick
incredible.
Cage.
You know what is another great alternative to watching horror movies on Halloween, though?
Ooh, I love alternatives.
So if you don't like horror, but you do really love very funny, very queer foreign art house cinema, which is a little bit more along my speed, have you heard of the movies of Pedro Almodovar?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that title?
The movies of Pedro Almodovar.
No.
This is me doing a plug, just FYI.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, perfect. Good.
I have a podcast with my friend. It is called All About Almodovar, and it is about the movies of Pedro Almodovar. I think actually we call it an introduction to loving the films of Pedro Almodovar because they are very lovable. And I have completely lost Matt's interest, but that's totally fine.
No, I was looking at my other screen trying to find the link to your podcast so I could put it up on the screen.
Oh, that's very sweet.
So I was 100% listening. Yeah, no, I don't just, I'm not listening to you anymore.
I don't like art house cinema.
He's a Spanish auteur. He's been working for 40 years. If you watch, I think half of his movies are just like the best movies that you'll ever watch. Half of his movies are really messy garbage. And so I'm going to take you through like the best movies. His most famous movies are probably Woman on the Verge of a Breakdown, which we've covered. My personal favorite is All About My Mother, which is what we named the podcast after. And then next week, we're going to talk to his other super big famous movie, Talk to Her. Which actually has like a very Halloween-esque concept because it is about a male loser nurse who is in love with this really sexy female bullfighter who gets into a coma after an accident, and then he starts saying bad things to her body.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is scary.
Yes, but I feel like when Quentin Tarantino does it, people are like, oh, like you go girl, kick ass. But if
No, let's make one thing perfectly clear. I was still not down with that scene of Kill Bill. I still thought that scene in Kill Bill was ridiculously disturbing. I was like, oh, Buck, you are just the worst, one of the worst characters ever.
Yes. I think that Pedro Almodovar takes a lot of things that are intensely uncomfortable, and you can he makes you see the humanity behind it without sort of doing any excusing. And also he just makes them incredibly funny. And it's one of those directors where you never know where the next laugh is going to come from because he's so sly. And he's so good at just making you feel all sorts of like weird emotions at the same time. So you can feel scared.
I get enough of that in quarantine anyway. Lots of emotions happening at the same time.
I feel no emotions.
Oh, I mean,
so I guess good for you. You guys are having all of the emotions.
Nah, not so much. It's not as fun as it sounds. So where can we find that? Where can we find that podcast?
We have been putting it out wherever podcasts are. If you have an iPhone, it should be on iTunes. If you have other platforms, I'm sure it's on there too.
I have Spotify.
Except for Matt's platform.
Oh no.
It is on Spotify. I don't know.
feel
why you
like
can't
I've
find
set
it.
up some tension between us because of our dogs. I think our dogs just need to have a play date together, and then we'll realize that they're both just majestic creatures.
But I don't want to give your dog like body dysphoria. Sorry, doggy
It's
dysphoria.
really gonna wreck your dog's confidence, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not.
I don't think that's possible with Gracie. She's a husky, and she has all the confidence, except when there are blue recycling bins on the sidewalk. Then she gets freaked out.
Does your dog sing?
She doesn't, but she does. She really only uses her voice when she's upset with us, I think, or wants to just give us a quick scolding, because she does this kind of low, kind of oh kind of thing at us, and that's really the only time she uses. Otherwise, she's very quiet.
Have you thought about taking your dog to voice lessons at Interlaken?
You know what? I have. It's too expensive. I think I'm going to set up a time with Gwen to just do another Zoom voice lesson with her.
The travel is really a lot.
I think that makes sense. So do you have anything else going on besides your podcast? Anything else you'd like to plug?
I guess I have a job. You can read my reviews at thehollywoodreporter.com. Sorry. I also, in like a week and a half, have an essay coming out in the Criterion collection.
What?
I wrote the essay for Parasite, which is coming out, I believe, on October 27th. So I'm in there as well. I have opinions about like lots of things, actually, like disc and TV and movies and dog beauty.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why we like to have opinionated people on the show. It makes for interesting television, whatever this is. It's not television, but it's
It makes for great content.
Yeah. So when does that article come out? Because I need to watch Parasite before that article. I've yet to see Parasite.
You are making me do a Nicolas Cage face. I am offended.
I'm sorry. I will.
He's trying to make his fangs grow so hard.
Can you bring that back up, Mike? I just want to see. Oh my God, he is trying to look at the way his mouth.
Ugh. This is the worst boomerang I've ever seen.
I don't know why you would not want to inject that into your eyeballs for 90 minutes straight.
Yeah, no. Now that Mike has that at his disposal, we're probably going to see that a lot. Just that. See, yeah.
My legacy here is done.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate you for it.
You built on the mythos of this show, and that's the most you can do here.
It really is. Well, thank you so much, Inkoo. Thank you for coming and joining us and staying up or getting up extremely early to do this, because you're out on like you said, the West Coast. So this is like super early for you.
Rachel.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh no. Yeah. Like if you ever want to review the 2MB shows, we'd love to get a little blurb in the Hollywood Reporter. That'd be great.
Now there's so much awkward laughter happening. I don't know how to respond. But thank you so much, guys, for having me. This was really fun.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Inkoo. We'll have to have you back on the show at some point. Maybe we'll have an afternoon show that you can sleep in and come in on for a bit.
I'm here for all of the Murder Clown updates.
Wonderful. We definitely will have more Murder Clown updates. So take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.
Fantastic.
Oh, so great.
Oh no, Monkey Paw. What? Something about Monkey Paw.
Monkey Paw Matt.
Oh, that's
Monkey Paw
probably
Matt.
me wishing to have a review in the Hollywood Reporter, and then it be just not a good review.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like what's gonna hurt the most is people are gonna be like, "What show?"
What, you mean people don't know about this show?
Some people know, and and they like it, and that's what matters.
And that's all that matters. We have a very loyal viewer base, and we love you all for watching.
Thank you.
I was like looking at the chat while I was saying that. I was, looking over at the side. Thank you, chat. You're wonderful.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Allison. So today, let's see. Let's do. You want to do some YouTubing?
Let's do some YouTubing.
I love YouTubing. So YouTubing is our segment where Chloe and I each pick something from YouTube. We're getting to the point now. We've only done it 3 times, but like I feel like Chloe and I spend a lot of time on YouTube anyway. So finding things that each of us haven't seen is hard, but we still try.
Yeah.
So Chloe, you wanna kick us off?
Yes. This video is to remind you that this show is a Boston-based show.
That this show is a Boston-based show?
This show is a Boston-based show.
Stop saying you're from Boston when you're not. Stop saying you're from Boston when you're not. Brookline to Chelsea.
Up and down the Fells Way.
They are all completely different friggin' spots. Bum, bum. Even though Boston is stuffy.
It's still a Newton Wellesley uppy. I see you up there.
Stop saying you're from Boston when you're not. Actually, do whatever you want. We're all living on stolen land.
Yeah. So it's one of those things of like, if I told people that I was from Somerville or from Somerville,
they don't know.
They wouldn't know. So you just say Boston, but it's not really Boston.
Well, that's what you get when you say you're from Illinois, or if you say you're from Illinois, people are like, "Oh, Chicago." Like Chicago's like. There's still lots of Illinois underneath that. I mean,
how far away from the city do you stop saying that you're from Chicago?
I mean, people say they're from Chicago when they're from like, I don't know, an hour outside of Chicago. It's like no, you can't.
The suburbs.
Yeah. But yeah. So it's just easier to say Boston. I'm from Boston. I'm not from Boston, but it's the only thing you know.
The greater Boston area. It's fine.
When I say Arlington, you're going to think Virginia?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. It's confusing.
It is confusing. So my video that I'm going to show Chloe today, I ran across this kid on a YouTube rabbit hole of watching like kids play music, like really good on musical instruments. And this kid is unbelievable.
This kid could go to Interlochen.
This kid should go to Interlochen. Absolutely. Chloe, I think you know about her, but I don't think you've seen it. So correct. This is Nandi Bushell. Nandi Bushell. And
that was epic. It's an honor to battle you.
This kid is so hardcore. Just the joy on her face. What she's doing. Right? She tries to do that Dave Grohl kind of frown, but she's too happy. She's far too happy to be doing this. Yeah, we don't have to play this whole clip. This is like a 3-minute clip. But yeah, Liz points out penny goals. Liz, I think if you got Penny a drum set, I'm not saying don't get Penny a drum set. I'm just saying think about your quality of life if you get Penny a drum set.
Maybe invest in some soundproofing. Oh, yep, no,
Yeah.
Not even a problem.
Not even a problem. Yeah, I like just having like a drum set anywhere in the house would just be. Drum pads would work. Yeah. But no, that kid's just amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. Like the amount of coordination drumming takes. I like your hands and feet all doing different things at once, different rhythms. It's my brother did percussion, and I would mess around in his drum set sometimes, and I just like couldn't do it. Like there's too much going on.
Did you ever play Rock Band? Do you remember the game Rock Band? It's still out. Like it's still a thing. Like people still play Rock Band. I tried playing the Rock Band drums, and it's like I'm like, no, I don't have the rhythm for this at all.
And that's supposed to be easy mode, you know?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be easy mode.
Yeah.
Drums are hard.
I can play the bass. I can do the bass one at medium. I can't get the fourth finger.
Yeah.
On there. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, at Interlaken, because we didn't have sports, like the percussion and the brass sections were like the jocks of the school.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. As someone that was in the brass section and I'm in our marching band in high school, I'm like, that totally makes sense, because we were kind of the troublemakers / the ones that were always kind of goofing around while we were doing we would have these marching band camps, right? But it wasn't like you would go to band camp, right? This was you would just drive to the high school, and we would spend all day working on our field routine on the it's true. We were bad boys. We were,
it's true.
We were, but we would just spend all day on our football field or on our practice field, like using. We used these like can lids that were painted different colors, and we'd be like, okay, so this is our spot for this formation, and then we put the red cone, you put the red thing down where you stand there, and everybody does that, so it's all there, right? And then you go and you find your next position. You have these sheets that are like these pieces of paper that has the football field on them, and then all the dots as to where everyone's standing, and you're like, oh, the trombone section is this section, right? So we had to go find out where we were, and then we'd go find it on the field, and we'd put our blue dot down there, and then we'd go stand on the red dot, and we're like, we've got 12 counts to get from our red dot to our blue dot.
This is real bad boy behavior. I like it.
Yeah, but that's what we did all day. So of course we were just dicking around. Yeah. And because there's a lot of standing while we check the formation and everything. So
yeah.
Just a little look into what marching band camp was like for me.
Yeah. It's it's real. There's a lot more going on than you think.
Yeah. We had a pretty kick-ass marching band for our high school, though. For a high school of 600, we had about 200 people in our marching band, and it was pretty cool.
I think that's a very Midwest thing.
Oh yeah, Indiana is huge with like drum and bugle corps.
Oh yeah.
So let's do some birthdays. I'm not good at segues, as Rachel loves to point out. So we'll just do some birthdays here real quick, and then we're going to bring on our second guest. Very excited about our second guest. Boston Crusaders. What's that? Was that your marching band? That's Janstories. I don't know.
There was it's such a violent name.
Yeah.
At Interlaken, we had a bassoon quintet, I believe, who called themselves the Destroyers.
Oh man, you got those bassoons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Boston Crusaders, drum and bugle corps. Very cool.
Oh, cool.
I went to see a drum and bugle corps show once, and it is so badass.
Yeah.
Like, they are nuts as far like they're just so talented because you have to like these instruments are crazy and it takes so much lung power. And then on top of that, you're also like in this very uncomfortable band uniform. And it's just, you know,
stuffy.
Yeah, we did a marching band competition once in high school where our instruments were freezing. Like it was so cold that my slide actually froze about halfway through the show. And I couldn't play my instrument. Yeah. I just had to keep marching and pretend like I was playing. It was crazy. Boston Crusaders. That looks dope. I might have to check that out. But let's do some birthdays. Let me see my birthday list here. Okay. Yeah. Good birthdays today. Today's birthday, John Lithgow, Evander Holyfield, and John Favreau. What a nice little trio of birthdays there. John Lithgow, one of my favorite actors. So good. He was the bad guy in, I think it was season 4 of Dexter. Or season 3 of Dexter, and it was one of the best seasons of that show. It was so good. Happy birthday to John Lithgow, Evander Holyfield, and John Favreau. Later in the week, tomorrow, Kamala Harris, and happy birthday, Kamala, or hopefully, knock on wood, future vice president. Bella Lugosi, also birthday on Tuesday. Let's see. Wednesday, Carrie Fisher and Kim Kardashian, to keep with the one alive, one dead thing I've got going on here. Then let's see. Thursday, I mean, it's Jeff Goldblum's birthday on Thursday. There's nothing else you need to say. Thank you. Look at Jeff Goldblum. Don't say. And then Friday, one of my favorite musicians of all time, Weird Al Yankovic, Alfred Matthew. Happy birthday, Weird Al.
What a performer.
I saw him. I've seen him in concert once, and it was just amazing. He is either performing or he's doing a costume change and then right back out on stage. Like he is such a good live performer.
Yes, absolutely. Like, even if you're not a huge fan of Weird Al Yankovic, like the concert experience with him is still so worth it because he just does such an incredible job with like the timing and keeping things entertaining. And like, obviously he's very funny.
And in a world where we like musicians come and go, right? There are some musicians that will come and have like, be around a year, 2 years, whatever. He is like Weird Al has been going since the mid to late 70s, and he's still going.
He's got longevity.
He's got longevity, and he knows what he's doing, and he's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So happy birthday Friday to Weird Al. So those are our birthdays this week.
Excellent.
Fantastic. All right. Well, let's bring out our next guest. They're a singer-songwriter that Rachel was lucky enough to see in concert and thought that they were fantastic, so they brought them on the show. Let's welcome Jules Hoffman. Jules.
Hi, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for hanging out in the green room.
It's lovely in there.
It is, right? Do you like our little plant wall there? We put a little plant wall in there.
Nice, yeah. I would have wanted more free drink tokens, but it's cool. It's
right. Well, it's also 10 in the morning. So we don't really do free drink tokens.
Next time, though. Next time we'll have the drink tokens. Matt.
I'm sorry. I'll write these things down. We got to keep the talent.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Jules, how are you this morning?
I'm doing swell. Yeah. I had some coffee. I got my water. I'm just really, it's a good Monday.
Ready to go. And you are where are you calling us from today?
So I am in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, wonderful.
Yeah.
How's quarantine going in Brooklyn?
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty rough whenever everyone was like, New York City is the highest number. And I would just look outside and everything was totally normal. And I was like, what are they're freaking out. But quarantine is okay here. Like, luckily I have like probably the biggest room in Brooklyn. And that's just really nice. Like, I'm like really thankful to have a spacious room to like do my workouts, put out my yoga mat, move my chair, put out my yoga mat, work out, put my chair back, you know?
Yeah, it's good to have space.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you really can't leave your space.
Exactly. I honestly survived it. I feel good. I'm really glad to be here. Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What kind of music do you play? How'd you get into music? That kind of thing.
Oh wow. Okay. So I play. So I would consider myself a songwriter. So I write for a lot of people. I write for children's music. I write for pop artists, country, all this stuff. But I play in a rock band called Boquetto the Wolf, and we actually used to play in Boston a lot because we were Boston based for a while. Mm-hmm. I've been in some ska bands in Boston because you have to.
Interesting.
Lesbian trombone player.
Wait, so you play trombone?
I play trombone.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so there's not much out there for the lesbian trombonist unless it's a ska band.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
That's rough. I mean, ska is. I have a little bit of a tenuous relationship with ska. We had a guest on a show a while back, not on this show, but on another show that would not stop talking about ska, and it was just like, oh God, just stop. Like, yeah. Ska doesn't have the best backstory, really.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah. So now I just do a lot of writing for myself or what I don't know. So it ends up being like a lot of sad songs. But today I was like, it's a morning show. I want to pump people up. So I came in with some of my more upbeat material.
Oh, well, I'm very excited. Why don't you go ahead and let's hear one of those numbers.
Yeah, you got it. Oh man. Okay, cool. This is a true story song. Everything in it is true, and it's about kind of being in love with one of my best friends and some of the things we did together. Yeah. Drove a van across the US in less than 2 days. I gave you 1 day notice in a half-packed suitcase. 'Cause you do anything for the money, and I do anything to make you love me more than you do. I do anything for you. We talk so much our voices gave out. Felt like a cold, but we kept going. We're each other's therapists cause we can't afford them. And I do anything to make you love me more than you do. I do anything to make you love me. I do anything for you. Well, I tried being vegan 1 to 2 many times. I wanted you to know that I cared, so I talked and talked about it, yeah. I do anything to make you love me more than you do. I do anything to make you love me. I do anything for you. Live in a tent outside your RV. Be in my band and I'll sing even though you're better than me. Ooh. But I can jump around and make the crowd go crazy. But do I make you crazy? I do anything to make you love me more than you do. I do anything to make you love me. I do anything for you. For you, 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 for you.
Oh man, so good.
Oh, I
like,
love that.
You know, rock and roll in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man.
that was one of those nice little upbeat kind of. Yeah, and I love that you preface that with the fact that like that was kind of a true story. So it's like you hear these things, you're like, oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice, sweet little power chord number.
I mean, hey, they're called power chords for a reason.
Exactly.
So have you been doing a lot of writing with the quarantine and everything? Like has that kind of gotten your writing thing, or has it affected you kind of on the adverse side of it?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it has been more of the adverse side of it. Like I started off the quarantine with some really dark songs that I was writing, some really sad songs. And then because I was going through like a breakup through quarantine too, which is just
Oof.
Yeah, but so I was writing a lot of dark songs, and then I don't know, I think it was about the same time that everyone was kind of done with Zoom meetings, you know, and everyone I was like, okay, I'm not writing anymore. Like I'm just gonna, you know, do nothing basically. Whenever people like kind of normalized the pandemic, basically. So yeah, I want to be writing more. I've been writing a lot of kid songs and like doing more upbeat stuff. But yeah, no, I feel like I've been in a inspiration like lull.
Yeah. No, that definitely that kind of happened with me like at the start of the pandemic, like into like the first like couple months. I was like, I have nothing to do. Like I couldn't think of anything. I just couldn't, like I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the exact opposite started, and it's like, oh, and now I have too much.
Exactly.
Because you overcompensate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what kind of kids music do you write? Like that's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. So what kind of kids music do you write?
So it'll be anything. So this is actually my most successful music project that I've done, happens to be kids music, and it's on YouTube, and I've actually started getting recognized on the street. Like whenever I barely take off, like I pull down my mask just a little bit, like I'm eating an apple on the side of the road or something, and someone's like, oh my God, I have to take a picture for my kid. Like, this is
Oh my
Jules.
God.
But that's called Songs for Littles, and I write everything. You know, I have a song about a pizza party, you know, that I really like. I play that one. That one's pretty fun. I try to do songs that have some sort of like message, at, you know, like a good, you know, message overall. So I have a song about a crab that's in a bad mood, and then I'm like teaching the kids how to crab walk, and that's like whenever you're in a crabby mood, just like literally pretend to be a crab, you know?
Yeah. That'll turn your mood around real quick.
Yeah, so it's just I have a lot of like random songs, but basically for each episode, depending on the theme, I'll write a song. So I wrote a song about this past episode we did was a Halloween episode, and I wrote a song about a Fred named Pumpkin that I didn't want to carve because I loved Fred as is. Like, even though I wanted to see him glow, like I really just loved Fred, so I just like left Fred without cutting him up.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta let Fred be Fred.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got Fred sitting on our front porch right now. It's such a cool little pumpkin. I was like, I don't want to ruin it by like, you know.
And it dies and it shrivels.
Yeah, and then it shrivels up and everything. It's like you might as well just like it's a beautiful pumpkin as is. Just stick it on your front porch.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
That's great, and that's Songs for Littles.
Yeah.
And you can find that on the YouTubes.
Yeah, again, it's like the most thing. That's like the thing that's blown up the most for me in my in my music career.
Yeah, it's like in Parks and Recreation when Andy Dwyer realizes he can be Johnny Karate and play kids songs, and it's got to be such a fulfilling thing as well, because you're passing on these like good messages to hopefully the next generation of people that are going to be running things around here.
Yeah, and also just being like an ambiguous figure for them. Like, I know that non-binary people are like kind of new. They're not new to this world, but yeah. Anyways, it's been really cool to like be a figure for kids that are like they like kids get it. They're just like, that's a boy girl, like my niece and nephew get it, and then like all the parents are like freaking out.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happens. Like at one point, like kids get it, and then something happens to them, and they're like, "Oh,
yeah,"
just like that. Right?
And then the kids are just like, "It's just Jules. Like Jules is just. I like Jules as a person."
Yeah. We're all just people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a firm believer in just of dropping the age to be president to like 12 and just letting a kid take over and like make like the kid what was the name of the young woman that did all the environmental?
Oh, Greta.
I'm like, put her in charge. Like,
honestly,
100%. Put her in charge. I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
So, I would love to request the pizza song, but I understand you came prepared with something else.
I could give you a taste of it for sure.
I would love to. I mean, if I can't have a whole pizza, I would love a taste.
Y'all really want to hear a piece of the pizza song?
I do. Yeah, more than anything.
Okay, I gotta make sure I remember. Okay, here it goes. Wait, let me put on my pizza hat.
Oh, I mean,
that's important. You gotta
have a wall of hats that I usually show the kids.
Yes.
Is this my pizza hat? Here we go. All right. Wanna have a pizza party? I wanna have a pizza party. I wanna have a pizza party with my friends. I said, who likes pepperoni? Who likes anchovies? Who likes bell peppers, onions, mushrooms?
Yum.
Or just cheese? That's me. I wanna have a pizza party. I wanna have a pizza party. I wanna have a pizza party with my friends. I hope my pizza party never ends.
Oh! Oh my God!
I love that.
So much.
And that was my Jules character coming out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
fantastic. We're gonna have you back to just do your kid songs. The kid show, kid song, because that just gets me so happy. But no, you have something else that you'd like to share.
Yes. And honestly, full disclosure, I started this show today at 100% battery on my phone, and I am down to the wire.
Okay,
so we're gonna try to get through this.
Let's get through this song, and then
just full disclosure. So yeah, I am actually unemployed now. I was working for the census for a while, actually, I was working for the census for a while, and now that it's over, I'm back to these money problems. So this is a song I wrote with my best friend called Money Problems at different points in my life that I've been really broke. So maybe some people will relate to this right now.
So.
Nice.
Here we go. This is the new broke, skipping out on free talks. Can't afford to be addicted. Money got me so restricted, and I don't even want it, but I need it just like you. Not even trying to save it, just need enough to get me through. We all got money problems. money problems. When you're rich, yeah, you still got them. We all got those money problems. Feeling loaded on my payday, buying PBRs for baby. Think I can't afford those new kicks, thrift store finds that keep me vintage. And I can put on a nice shirt, ooh, act like a rich bird. Yeah, you can put it on my credit. I ran out on my debit, it'll be okay. We all got money problems, money problems. When you're rich, yeah, you still got them. We all got those money problems, money problems, money problems. When you're rich, yeah, you still got them. We all got those money problems. But isn't it funny how the poor still tipping 20? And the rich still think that we all got plenty. Well, I know that there's enough to go around, so why do we still got people sleeping on the ground? Money problems. We all got those money problems. Money problems, are money problems. We all got those money problems. Money problems, money problems. We all got those money problems.
So good. So
I
good.
love it.
And Raj Andelman said it. Yeah, if you have the ability to change your nameplate there, and you want to throw your Venmo up, if people want to throw Jules some tips for those amazing songs, 100%.
I honestly don't know how to change my name on Twitch.
You know what? No
it's
worries.
It's pretty easy. It's just J.M. Hoffman on Venmo.
Awesome.
You don't have to do that. That is so sweet. I really appreciate that.
It's honestly, it's something we're trying to do on the channel.
Okay, cool.
You know,
then if y'all are trying to make it a thing, great. Yeah, thank you. That's me on Venmo. You'll see me with like a mushroom, I think. No, it's just a cute candid. Like this.
So Jules, where can people find your stuff, and if they want to support you as an artist, where could they maybe download some of your songs or buy an album? Or
so I think the best way is to follow my Instagram, like my main personal Instagram, because on there you'll see like I have in my bio like links to all the other things that I do, including a vegan cooking thing that I do. So that would be JULEZZINGS. So it's like Jules Zings. Wait.
Gotcha.
Wait, I think it's.
I've got it right here, Mike.
Wait, let me just make sure. JULE. Sorry, guys. JULEZZINGS. Yeah. Jules Zings, and that's probably the best way to like find me and then look at all the weird stuff that I do for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just about following. I heard this on. I think I heard this somewhere else. It's not just about like following on the Instagram. It's liking and sharing and like get those analytics working, right? Be active on that. Share Jules's stuff. There's so much good stuff, and I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being
here. Y'all were so awesome. Thanks so much for having me. And I bet my phone's gonna die now, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Perfect timing.
We'll definitely have you back. So we'll keep in touch and definitely get you back on the show. Thanks, Jules, so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right, y'all too. Bye.
What a delight.
What an absolute delight. R.I.P. Jules' phone. That's okay. I mean, once the phone battery starts going, it's just boom, 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 boom. Down it goes. But follow Jules on Instagram, JulesZZIngs, and be active on that Instagram. Share those stories, share those clicks. all kinds of good stuff. I think we should talk about real quick. We've got a little bit of time left on the show. But we've got a few things we want to talk about. The first thing is last week we had some guests on the show that run a website called 3weeks.courses.
3weeks.courses.
And two very good friends of the show and two very, very big fans of the channel, Danny Bellel and Gregory Scott, have started this website where you can take these classes and have them in like digestible 3-course bundles, and they're only like $75 a class,
like a
or
delicious
like for three classes, right? It's $75 for 3 classes.
Yeah, it's like a delicious 3-course meal,
right? And normally, if you were going to get a 3-course meal, a nice 3-course meal, you'd probably spend around $75 anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not just like it's to create something. You can learn something new. There's so much out there. There's one class in particular that's so cool. It's the script writing and or playwriting and script analysis. And let me just look up real quick what the gentleman's name is. His name is Nick Walker. Teaches
Nick Walker.
And Nick Walker actually played Aaron Burr on Broadway. And he was the understudy to George Washington. In the Broadway cast of Hamilton.
Stop it.
Yeah. And he's teaching a class on
you could take a class with a Hamilton guy.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Also, I do know a certain morning show host. Not me. The way I set this up, it looks like it's me, but it's not. It's Chloe.
It's me.
Chloe, talk about your classes.
Okay, I'm teaching 2 different classes. One of them is called Less Pain, More Gain. So this is for people who, if you're doing a video or group fitness class and the instructor's like, this is the movement we're doing now, but you're like, ouch, that hurts.
Which is really any time I try to exercise.
It's pretty common to get ouchies when you're exercising. Yeah. But there is a difference between like joint pain, things that are going to cause problems later, and like muscle pain or like muscle work, I like to call it. And so this is a class that gives you permission to sub in other exercises. Because we never want you to hurt yourself. We want exercise to be a positive experience, right? And so it's not a positive experience if you like do 3 classes and then your shoulder doesn't work for 3 months.
Yeah, that's not a positive. That's not.
No, you're a lot less likely to come back. So, and you're allowed to like sub things in, right? Like there's a lot of this, like I have to do the same thing that everyone else is doing, and I have to do what the instructor tells me to do. You don't. You got to do what's right for your body. And so this class kind of goes over common pain points and exercises that you can sub in instead of those.
That's wonderful. I might
so you don't hurt yourself
because I need to exercise more.
Yeah.
Just as an aging male. My body is slowly starting to fall apart, and it would be nice to have some exercises.
It's really funny because like for me, so I have like chronic pain and chronic fatigue, and I'm just now at the point where I've like figured out how to manage things and how to like treat my body to keep it happy. So like most people, when they get into their 30s, they're like, everything's hurting and falling apart. And I'm like, I feel the best I've ever felt. A little backwards, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So 3weeks.courses also are one of our friends, Tim Booker, is doing some like money classes, like how to manage your money, which is so important, especially now when, you might not be working, to keep that. So check out 3weeks.courses and sign up for a class. And then when they ask you how you heard about it, click that 2MB Studios button. and
2MB
let them know,
Studios.
because that's a great way to support our channel, as well as support another business that was created by people like us that have been put out of work because of this pandemic. So we've created something else.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So check that out, 3weeks.courses. Also, 2MB Studios hit 400 followers yesterday.
Wow.
400 followers is
That's incredible.
That's huge. Very excited. So we're now on the path to 500. So we're trying to get to that 500th follower. So if you have not yet followed 2MB Studios, click that follow button. It's that little heart that's there in the corner. Click that button. And if you really want to support the channel, you can hit subscribe. We're starting to get up there in subscribers too. And that's huge, because subscribers give money directly to the channel. We get 50% of everything, like 50% of the fee that it costs to subscribe comes back to the channel. So that's great. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do that with no additional cost to you. You just have to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, which is free. And they give you a free subscription to do that. So it's a little bit of a process, but it's super easy to figure out.
We would so appreciate it.
We would so appreciate it.
So appreciate it.
Because we have shows, we're doing shows now 7 nights a week. We have today is a 4-show day. So we have 4 shows on Monday. We have 3 shows tomorrow night. 3 shows. We have a new show on Wednesday.
Ooh, what is it?
Making Music with Kenny. Kenny Gray, who's an amazing musician and music producer, will spend anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. He's got he just had his first show. He thought it was going to run an hour, but it ended up running 2 hours, and it was great. And last week he made a song about TurboTax that was just was just so good.
Incredible.
Yeah, so he's doing these things where he just creates a song from scratch. Yeah, Kit was there. It was a lot of fun. And it's a good song. Like I had that show on in the kitchen while I was I made a pot of chili last week, and while I was making a pot of chili and like cornbread and stuff like that, I had Kenny's show on, and it was just so much fun to listen to and see the process of how to make it right. We're starting to theme our nights here on the channel. So Wednesday we're working as a maker's night, so you get to see Kenny do his thing, and then our good friends Lissa and Hugo, they kind of create they do a show called The Writer's Table. Or no, that's not what it's called. It's called Working Title. Writer's Table was one of the working titles of it. It's called Working Title is what it's called, and they create a show for you. That's a brand new show. It's very, very fun to watch. And then of course our very special and loved Rachel Andelman has her Joy of Posting show Wednesday nights. So check that out. Just so much going on the channel. So we've got so many shows. So it really helps if you help support the channel, because we're all artists trying to make some scratch in these odd and uncertain times. So don't forget to do that. And the third thing that I really want to mention and really want to hit home is vote.
Vote. Everyone, look
at
us. Look at us straight in our eyes.
Look at us.
Vote.
It's important.
Please.
I'm actually going to go vote today.
Hooray!
Yeah, because early voting is a thing. Nick Cage just wants you to vote.
I feel like we better do what he wants.
Yeah, y'all, it is scary. It is scary out there right now. It's not going to get any less scary, I think, anytime soon. But hopefully, it'll get a smidgen better, and we can do that. But we got to get out and vote. If we don't do that, then we're going to be stuck. And
vote.
That's all you can say. Let's see. Chloe,
you got an answer to that trivia question?
Oh, We should do that. We should do the answer to our trivia question. So the trivia question this week was Christopher Ludwig was given this job title from Congress in 1777 after he used his unique talents to help the colonial army after Valley Forge. Rachel actually called it. He was a bread baker, which is how it ties in. But he was given the title of Director of Baking.
Wow.
And this is what's cool. He promised 135 pounds of bread per 100 pounds of flour he received. And he delivered on that promise for the next 5 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, he helped
a lot of
feed
bread.
The colonial army as Director of Baking.
Director of Baking.
Which
Keep
is
our
now,
boys going with a good old loaf.
Yeah. And shout out to Loaf if you're watching, which I don't think Loaf's watching this morning.
Oh, Loaf.
I
miss you.
That's all right. So that's our show. Don't forget, stay tuned this evening for 8 o'clock, Poof, the Magical Game Show with two dummies, Nate and Bacon, doing a game show at 8. Question mark. Then after that, 9 o'clock is Run On, which is an actual game show. The jackpot tonight, $210. And our contestants tonight are Kwesi Mensah, someone that's been on our show. I love Kwesi so much. Terrence Wiggins, and last week's champion beating Anthony finally after five shows that he won. The new champion, Brandy Brown. All the way from Chloe, your neck of the woods. She's not from Wisconsin. She's from Minnesota, I believe. But it's one of those. It's either Minnesota or Wisconsin. One of those two. I always get those two states. Midwestern. Yeah. I feel like those two states are pretty interchangeable.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Matt. You've done it now.
Sorry. I alienated the Midwest, our Midwest. No.
The accents are completely different.
Are they, though? We'll talk about that more next week.
We'll talk about that on the next show.
We're going to have to go off the air, and Chloe and I are going to have a huge fight.
Host drama.
So you might see one of us. You might see both of us. You might see some combination of that next week.
I think, based on what's happened during this show, Matt, it's going to be my show. Mike's on my side.
Mike is 100% on your side. Olympia Dukakis is on your side. Maybe you could do a
I'm gonna educate you.
You could do a compare and contrast of the two accents next week. So thank you so much for tuning in. That's a good point there, running across the bottom of the screen. If you want some cheaper coffee, you can go to Red Barn Coffee Roasters. Use that phrase "Hello World" at checkout. You get 15% off your coffee. Ships anywhere in the country. So definitely do that.
Red Barn Coffee. Definitely do that.
Yeah. And that's our show. Thank you so much, Chloe. Thank you, everyone who was watching. Thanks to our guests. It was such a wonderful show, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye, world.
Bye.